Let's go over and take a look at what's been done so far. Reworked the tone control, reworked the on-off switch, rebuilt this block capacitor, rebuilt this block capacitor, replaced pretty much all the resistors except maybe this 10K right here, and it was well within tolerance, and also this bias resistor here. The wires are pretty much replaced. The ones, there's some that are really good shape, not going to fool with them, especially on these IF coils. Went ahead and installed the choke. One of the things that I ended up having to do is I ended up re-drilling the hole. One of the articles that someone else had done, they elongated the hole on the choke itself so they wouldn't modify the chassis. Well, this is not a collector's item, so I just went ahead, drilled a 1/8 inch hole where the hole needed to be, and it's self-tapping screw, so it took care of itself there. So, and let's look on the top. As you can see, it's from here and here. Here's the new hole. It's not going to make that much difference. So now what do we have to do now? Before we put this rebuilt board, capacitor resistance board in here, let's see, it's here. Where does it go? It goes across here. Before we do that, we've got to go ahead and put the tuning condenser back in, because we've got to solder this ground lug onto the bottom of that. If you recall, the tuning condenser was on rubber grommets. However, the body of it was grounded with this grounding strap, which was soldered. So we'll have to do that, because once the board's in place, you can't access all this. So that's what we're going to do. We'll have to put in the two filter capacitors, and I want to rewire the speaker, because the speaker wires are in pretty rough shape. I'll either rewire them or some heat shrink, whatever we feel like we need to do. But it's coming back together, and hopefully we'll be ready to apply some power to it. I'm going to put this tuning condenser back in. I'm going to show you, I kind of showed you how it came out. It's connected with 3 screws, self-tap, or it's threaded, and there's threads in there, so it attaches that way. Now, we said that it uses these rubber grommets, and these are real pliable. And a lot of them you run into, these are crusty and hard, and you have to replace them. Renovated Radio, I believe, is the name of the place that sells these, and I think that maybe Radio Days sells these. And you can buy some like generic and they'll fit. But let me show you what's inside this. Inside this is a little metal sleeve, and the purpose of that is this goes in the hole, and the other one goes on the other side of the chassis, and this metal sleeve goes inside there, and like that, and then the screw goes in, goes through the chassis, and then attaches to the bottom of the tuning condenser, like that, where the chassis is in that groove there. And the purpose of this metal piece is when you tighten down on it, it doesn't compress this all the way and make the tuning condenser unlevel. One of these, I don't know which one, I think it was this one, yeah, that had this ground clamp soldered to it. So the body is grounded, it's just floating, and it's due to vibration. Don't want the speaker rattling the cabinet and the chassis to detune the radio or introduce harmonic or any type of noise in it. We're going to go ahead and put this in. This wire will snake through here. This will be from the top. It'll snake through, come over and go to pin 5 of the 6A7. There's another wire that comes from this switch that goes through a hole, which will attach here, and then of course the grid cap on the 6A7, it comes and snakes through here like that, and also attaches to this particular one. And that's the way it's connected. So let's see if we can, and then we'll take and solder this strap onto that screw, which grounds this to chassis. Okay, we're going to try to do this in one take. Alright, let's see. We want to, here's the 3. This goes towards the front. I believe this goes into that hole. Let's double check that. Yes, that goes in the correct hole. Like that. Okay, here's that other wire I was telling you about that connects to this one. We'll just leave that off for right now. So what we want to do is, let's get one of them started. Okay. Hopefully that'll be a good one to get started. Slid to the back. Let's put this one in this hole here. Maybe you're on camera. Maybe I should have picked one that was easiest. Nah, that's about as easy as it comes right there. It's just everything else is in the way. All right. Put that in there. I'm going to hold it with my finger, flip it over. Said it was. Let's zoom back a little bit. There we go. Now, we get our other grommet, put it on here like this. Let's get a 1/4 inch nut driver. We don't want to tighten it down because we got to try to snake those other things up in there. Just want to get it started. Well, okay, I started it with my hand. Now see, I've got, you can see it in there. I'm leaving some gap there. So I'm gonna try to fish the other ones in there. of the problems with working. Make sure I get the one with the that I need to solder to. Now, you know, the magic of editing, you may not ever see this, all this fumbling around. All right, second one's kind of in place. Looking for all my little washer gizmos. And I apologize not keeping you on camera. As well as I need to, but this one comes up here in the front like that. And we'll see. Well, we've got to put this grommet on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold pressure on this and try to hold that other one in place. And try to look through the lens of the camera. And try to put it all in place. Well, all right, got them all started. So all I've got to do is connect the wires along with the grid cap and solder the ground on. One of the things I forgot to mention, we need to put the transformer back on. I cleaned it up a little bit and painted it with some engine enamel. So it should handle the heat. Hopefully there is no heat. Go ahead and put the filter caps back in. Remember how this goes in. These little bands go that way, and then of course this goes a screw to go in. And let's see. Of course we get some slack in there. Well, and then pop it in there maybe. Well, maybe not. All right, now we get the other one in. Like that. And then we will make sure that they are run it all the way just yet. We want to make sure they're the right height under the bottom before we tighten it, and they're lined up correctly. As you can see, you're not able to see the joint of those where we did cut them and restuff them. So this one I think needs to come down a little bit like that. And let's, well, I'm not showing you anything, am I? And I want the be right around this way. And I believe we can tighten that down. All right. I believe we're going to end this one right here. The next one we'll put the transformer on, put this board in, do some final checks, and it should be about ready to apply some power. I want to rewire the speaker on the next one. The wires are not that great a shape, and I want to dress those up a little bit. So appreciate everybody watching and hanging with me, and all the great comments. And if you like this video, say you like it, and that lets other folks, it changes the algorithms where other people can see it. So let me know in the comments what you think, any ideas going forward. And from Larry from the hills of Tennessee, thanks for watching.